This episode of the ResortLoop.com podcast is brought to you by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Joffrey's is proud to be the official specialty coffee of Disney. Enjoy drinks and pastries at Joffrey's kiosks throughout the parks and check out the Disney Specialty Coffee Collection only at Joffreys.com.
Hi, this is Tyler Braun, or DisneyMan92 on Twitter.
And this is Jessica Murphy, Jam Beauty 89.
Recording live from Tomorrowland at Walt Disney Magic Kingdom.
And we would like to welcome you guys to
ResortLoop.com podcast.
I was going to say it with him, but then I forgot.
Ready? Bing bong!
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. This is the Gateway to the Magic. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
Bob?
Yes?
This is 156, episode 156 of ResortLoop.com.
Yes, and once again, thanks to our new sponsors, Joffrey's Coffee. Still have a chance to get that discount.
Yes, ResortLoop 20.
There you go.
We'll get you 20% off. It's awesome.
It's fantastic. I think I don't even want to know how much I spent. I just kept clicking, and the credit card went through. So I guess it'll be all right.
I can tell you, it's 20% less than you would have otherwise.
There you go. Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah, it's fine. Awesome. How about that open, Bob?
I'm not familiar with those folks. You know?
You don't know Jessica Murphy and Tyler Braun?
No.
Oh, they're fantastic. They're the young people.
Well, yeah, maybe one day we'll talk to them.
I hope so.
Did you had a shout out?
I have to give a quick shout out to Scott Danziger and family. They're heading down to Florida. They're going down to the parks. Him and the kids and the family's going down. We give them a little shout out to enjoy. We want to report when you guys get back.
Absolutely, and maybe he can send us a show open as well.
Oh, I love a show open with the kids.
Yeah,
Scott, send it. You have the technology.
Fantastic. Speaking of friends of the show, we've got an update from Sean Woosley and Jiwoo.
Oh.
They sent us a little update on episode 149. Remember they were talking about their upcoming Thanksgiving trip?
Yes.
And Sean was he was back to Fast Pass minus, if you remember. Well, it's it's changed again.
It has.
So let's listen in.
Hey, Tim and Bob.
Hi, Bob and Tim.
This is Fish Sean Woo.
And Jiwoo.
And we just wanted to give you an update from something we discussed on episode 149 about our trip to Disney World on Thanksgiving Day at the Magic Kingdom. If you recall, we weren't able to get any fast passes for the mine train, even though I logged on at 12:01 a.m. the 60th day. There were no mine train fast passes available. We also had a reservation for Liberty Tree Tavern for 4 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. We reserved it for a party of 6. Unfortunately, my sister's coming down from Chicago, and also my older son can now make it. He doesn't have to work, so our party swelled up to 8. We called Disney. We weren't able to expand the reservation. Well, the other night I had a little bit of insomnia, so being the Disney freak that I am, I logged into My Disney Experience, and what I found out was the mine train was open for pretty much every single time on Thanksgiving Day. What do you think about that, Grace?
Yay, mine train!
You like the mine train?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
How many times have you been on it?
1.
Just 1? I think you've been on twice. Well, we're going on again Thanksgiving Day.
Yay.
So anyways, the mine train was pretty much open for any time on Thanksgiving Day. I booked a fast pass for our entire party of 8 at 6:30 p.m. I also was seeing what other ADRs were available for Thanksgiving Day, and I found out that there were many, many time slots open for Be Our Guest. You like that restaurant, don't you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of that restaurant?
I don't know.
The Rose? Or the Beast?
The Rose.
Okay. So we're going to sit and eat at the Be Our Guest restaurant at 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. So if any of your listeners are out there and are going to be there Thanksgiving Day, I don't know what's going on, but a bunch of fast passes open for Mine Train and a bunch of ADRs opened up for Be Our Guest. Personally, what I think is Disney's kind of locking these out and then sporadically opening them up so that the general public is able to get in, book these fast passes, and rather than lock them out totally, people can get them as they check back. So if any of you guys out there are locked out of fast passes, keep checking back. It worked for me, and we're going to have a great Disney vacation. Right, Grace?
Yeah.
All right. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Tell Bob and Tim or Tim and Bob bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you guys later.
See you guys later.
Where are we living?
Florida.
What part of Florida?
Florida.
Okay. We live in Florida. Take care, everybody. Hope your Looper Nation's listening, and hope they enjoy the update. Thanks. Bye.
I said Florida twice.
Bob, Grace, or Jiwoo is adorable.
We are in deep trouble if she ever gets her own show.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just saying.
Sean, get her a microphone.
Oh, when she said Florida twice. Oh, my goodness. I was crying.
I know.
Anyway.
Adorable. That shows persistence is paying off with this Fast Pass thing.
Yeah, there you go. You just, keep trying. And I think Sean's right. I think that, they're Disney, kind of like hotel rooms where a hotel company will book so many rooms and say, well, we're full. But they still have some rooms left.
They're in there.
So, in case things pop up. So, keep trying. If you're going to be going down, keep trying even when you get there.
Yes.
Try it again. Go up to a cast member and say, hey, can I get in? If you remember, that's what happened with us at Be Our Guest. We had no reservations, went up. Hey, can we get in? She said, I don't have anything for 4, but I got one for 6. So we brought another couple along with us and had a wonderful meal. So
that is awesome.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Give your sad puppy dog eyes, which I know you use.
I don't have those.
Bob, I need to go off the rundown for a second.
I have angry eyes.
You do have angry eyes. I know right where you keep those, too.
You've seen my angry eyes.
Unfortunately, I have. But we have to go off the rundown real quick. There's this breaking news everyone is talking about involving the studios.
Yes.
Your favorite item there.
Yes.
The hat.
The hat?
The hat is gone. But wait, Bob, we knew that.
What? Yes, we did.
In episode 109, our April 1st show, we said the hat was going away.
Everybody said that was an April Fool's show.
Exactly.
I'm not so sure.
And when the second part of that story comes true, that the replacement is the waterfall from the Polynesian, we are going to look brilliant.
Well, I'm going to give you a little teaser.
Ooh.
I don't know for sure, but I predict, I know exactly what's going in there.
You do.
And we've got an upcoming show where the Looper Nation has spoken as to what they would like to see.
Yes.
That's coming up in a little bit, but we'll talk about that. But I think I know. I think I know.
That's a good teaser.
There you go. There you go. And speaking of teasing me, Tim.
Oh my. What's going on over there?
What do we? Stop it.
Sorry.
What are we going to talk about today?
Today, inspired by the open of the show, joining us is Jessica Murphy and Tyler Braun. Welcome, guys.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Hey. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. This is awesome.
It is awesome.
So excited.
You guys, let's face it. Jessica's kind of like a YouTube star.
She's a big deal.
She is. And Tyler is an up-and-coming YouTube star.
He's riding her coattails.
That to be seen. We'll see.
Right.
No, it's coming. I'm telling you.
I'm sure.
So why don't you guys introduce yourselves and let Looper Nation know who you are?
All right. Well, I'm Tyler Braun. I've been a Disney nerd since I was literally born. We have video of me, as a little boy running around the Magic Kingdom and all that kind of stuff. So been in my blood ever since I was born.
And I'm Jessica Murphy, and the first time I ever went to Disney World was right before I met Tyler, so it's kind of poetic. And to top that, Tyler and I met doing a Disney show. I was playing Jasmine and he was playing Aladdin, and that's how we met.
What?
Isn't that poetic?
What? Are there pictures of this, first of all?
I will try. I'll try and tweet you one if I can find it. I think there's pictures.
Yeah, somewhere.
I'm sure Tyler's mom has pictures. Do you have pictures, Benita?
I do.
We need those pictures to put with the show.
We have someone else here too.
We told you we'd get you on the show, didn't we?
You did.
And Tyler's mom is with us as well.
Yes.
So,
So there was love in Agrabah.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, what's that all about? So you guys were, at the college program down there?
No, it wasn't actually at Disney. It was at a different theater where we live here in Indiana.
Yeah, it's a local dinner theater, and that's how we met. We had both done theater for
Years.
almost a decade apiece, and we'd never met each other, and then we met doing that show, and then
It was love at first
the
sight.
rest is history.
Wow.
Ah.
They're bigger stars than we.
They are. Let's just hand the show over. We're out.
Oh my gosh. I hope they don't start a podcast.
Oh my goodness.
That's all I've got. How about you?
Well, that's very cool. And that's how you guys met.
Right.
And you guys been together for a little while.
Yeah, almost 5 years. Yep.
Wow. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And the reason we have you on is because you just got back from Disney, right?
Yes,
We
we
did.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And it was one of the best trips we've ever had.
It was, in Bob Collar's words, fantastic.
Absolutely.
There it is. That's the drinking game rule, right? Every time you say absolutely.
There you go. There you go. Now, how long did you stay? Was it ready for this fortnight?
Oh,
Right.
bringing back the old stuff. I like it. It was about 3/4 of a fortnight.
Oh,
Just
10
about
days.
Wow.
10 days. Yeah.
Nice. And you guys participated in the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, right?
Yeah, and that was kind of a clutch decision because when we went, we hadn't bought tickets and we kind of decided we weren't going to go because it's $62 a person, give or take. And that's a lot of money, especially when you've just spent all that money on, your resort and tickets, etc. So we literally decided, I think a few days before we actually went to the actual party to finally buy them, and they sell out
Oh yeah.
so fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, we were lucky to get tickets because even when we were checking in, the guy who was checking us in said, if you are going to go, buy tickets now because it's going to sell out. And
it did that night.
Yeah, that night it did end up selling out, but we got them somewhat early in our vacation, so we got it, but
Just in time.
yeah, if you're going to do it, don't wait till day of because they do sell out.
Yeah.
Was that your first party then?
Yeah, we'd never been before.
Right.
Now, did you dress up or just go as yourselves?
We did not. We did not dress up. And again, we didn't know we were going to do it until about halfway through our vacation. And so afterwards, when we got there, we realized, oh my gosh, now that we're getting tickets, we should have dressed up. And they had some awesome costumes. There were a bunch of people that had brought, amazing costumes.
Oh, yeah. There were women dressed as like Sleeping Beauty or Aurora, but not as like the classic in the pink or blue dress. She was in like the original like brown and white dress. I'm like, oh my gosh, these costumes were amazing. It feels like people like paid to get them made like specifically to fit them. But man, we did dress up.
Wow.
Though, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
As we were walking through, I made a note on my phone of all the different things we thought about maybe doing next time.
Right. And really, I guess the advice I would give for that was we were the minority. Everyone was dressed up. So really, I would say 80% of the people there, adults, kids alike, were all dressed up. So we really, I felt left out, didn't you, Tyler?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
They kicked us out early because we weren't in costume.
Might I recommend the next time you guys go is Aladdin and Jasmine? I know that's a stretch.
Where'd you get that idea?
Yeah, well, that's what we're here for. We're here to help.
Right.
So why don't you walk us through? When you first go in, tell us kind of like your whole experience at the party.
Well, we got there, I think around 6. You could get in around 4. And one of our concerns, because we had kind of planned out what we were going to do, what park each day. So we had spent, I think, the whole day at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
And we decided, that we were going to keep that. And then we asked, can we get into the Mickey's Not So Scary, even if we're at another park? And they said yes.
And we did not have a park hopper, so it still worked, which is great.
Right.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah.
So we were at Hollywood Studios all day, went back to the resort, showered, got ready, and then we were there around 6. So we got in, we started to walk in. We were trying to figure out, well, if we come back next time, how can we get in without paying extra? But there was no way. They had 2 separate lines, people coming out, people going in. There was no way to cheat the system. Yeah, Disney's good about that. And
they do give you wristbands, though, as you go in. Once you've done your little magic band, they give you a wristband specifically for the party. So as you're going into rides, etc., they do check for it, at least in the first hour or two. After that, I don't think they care.
Yeah. Okay. So we got in. We looked at on Main Street. They have all these fall decorations. It's really neat. They've got the Mickeys on the lanterns, and I mean it's amazing stuff. So we took some pictures of that, and then we went over and rode some rides, kind of waiting because at 6 o'clock it was still kind of bright outside, so we were waiting till it got dark. And then let's see, we went over. There was the what's that jammin' thing that they do?
Oh, it was like the Monsters Inc. dance party. We have our little pamphlet here to help us remember the name. Monstrous Scream-a-ween Ball.
Ooh.
And they had like all the Monsters Inc. It was over in Tomorrowland, and they had Sully and Mike and Boo dancing, and everyone was just kind of, which really I feel like they do that throughout the year, don't they? But this time it was Halloweenified, really. But it was just fun.
But they had a DJ. I forget what his name is.
I think they do that all year though.
So we kind of stood over there for a few minutes, and again we were kind of waiting for it to get dark, so we were just kind of wandering around a little bit.
Well, we rode the Wedway, of course, because duh.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Yeah,
nice.
You have to do that.
People mover.
Yeah.
So we decided we were going to walk over and ride Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain before they closed. And as we're walking, all of a sudden, coming down the street, we see the Headless Horseman. Oh. And so we're like, well, obviously we're going to go ahead and stop and watch this, because we were going to wait till the second one. But we thought, they do 2 parades. But we thought, well, let's go ahead and watch the first one too, because we're here. So
right, yeah.
So we pulled over to the side and watched that, and it was so cool. I mean,
I can't even put into words. It was one of those things that if you're a Halloween lover like we are, like it was amazing. And I'll have on my YouTube channel, not a shameless plug, of course, but on my YouTube channel, we're both putting vlogs up of the entire thing. It was amazing. There were about 3 different songs that I'd never heard. I think they've been doing like the song Boo to You, which the whole parade is called the Boo to You Parade. And they also had, what was that villain song, Tyler?
It's Good to Be Bad.
It's Good to Be Bad. What a terrible message for kids. But the song was called Good to Be Bad. But it was just so amazing. They had every villain you could think of, other than Oogie Boogie, which is one I thought that I was like, oh man, they didn't have it.
Yeah.
But they had, you guys will love this, they had the entire Haunted Mansion. Like they had the Hitchhiking Ghosts at the very beginning. Spoiler alert. They had the what's he called, the guy with the
watchman,
dog.
The caretaker. The caretaker.
That's it, the caretaker. Yeah. And he was walking through, and it was a real bloodhound. It was so cool.
Oh wow,
that's awesome.
So cool. Yeah, we didn't expect that at all. So we had a real bloodhound, and he's kind of wandering through, talking to people. He's like, "Have you seen any ghosts around here?" And then right behind him, they had the grave diggers, and I don't know if some people might have looked that up on YouTube before. I would advise not, so you're surprised when you go, because it is so cool.
We won't say any more.
Yeah. All right, I won't say any more, but they're very cool. And then they had the they had the Hitchhiking Ghosts, the ballroom dancers, from the ballroom scene, like the Pepper's Ghost, and those costumes were amazing. I mean, they were impeccable, and the makeup was amazing.
Yeah, that was the makeup was amazing.
So they were dancing around. There was kind of different sections to the parade. The first one was kind of like classic Disney characters, and they came up and they had masks on, and Pluto had a pumpkin in front of his face or something like that. So they were trick or treating. Then it was the Haunted Mansion stuff. Then they had kind of a like an autumn hoedown section, but they had like
don't know her name. The cow that's like old school Disney. But
Yeah.
she's like
Clarabelle.
Clarabelle, yeah.
Clarabelle.
Yeah.
The one.
See, us old guys.
Old-
you can
yeah.
ask us old
Yeah.
guys. We know.
Yeah. Clarabelle was her name.
So, do you remember seeing Steamboat Willie in theaters?
I drew it. I helped draw some of that. Yeah.
That's what I figured.
I had to take in the youngins. They had to have an adult with them.
Right.
So they had like a whole hoedown section, and they had some, old school characters in that, and they had a chicken that was
Yelling.
screaming, and yeah, that was interesting. And then at the very end, they had all the villains, and that was really cool because all the villains on the different floats. And they had a small section where it was kind of pirate themed. So they had, Jack Sparrow, and they had a Peter Pan float. They had the guy who was Captain Barbossa on the Pirates of the Caribbean. We watched the parade twice, the first time and the second time. And both times we were not sure if he was an audio animatronic or if he was a real person.
Oh, wow.
He was so
Odd and
stoic.
good. Yes.
But it was perfect for Barbossa, though.
Yeah, very good.
Cool.
Very good.
So after the parade, which, like he said, we watched twice because it was so good.
Yeah.
And the music is so good. That's one that I'm adding to my Spotify playlist like daily. It's so good. Anyway, we went there. So we mentioned that first dance party. Well, included in your ticket is also a second dance party, which is called like the Villains Mix and Mingle. And that takes place in the Diamond Horseshoe little area in Frontierland. And we went in kind of early. And it was already kind of hopping. There were a lot of people in there, and mostly adults dancing. Like, there were kids in there, and it was, of course, well, naturally, for kids. But most of the adults were the ones dancing, and they had, what villains were in there? The two evil stepsisters from Cinderella and the stepmom.
Oh, they're always good.
At the time we were in there, that was in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just so cool, and the lights were real dark, and they had fun, like, almost like clubbing type lights, if you know what I mean. And it was just so cool. And for
fog and laser lights.
Oh, yeah. That's all you need for a party, right? Fog and laser lights.
There you go.
Yeah, Bob knows his club lights.
Yeah, I do know my club lights. Yeah.
That's right.
When I'm sitting on the porch drinking my sarsaparilla.
What else happened? So ride-wise, because that, I think, was one of the things we were thinking about. It was open till either 1 or 2 in the morning. I mean, pretty late. And for this, this ticketed event, the rides really after the first hour of it being open to just the ticketed people for the Halloween party, all of the rides were down to a 10 or 15 minute wait. Haunted Mansion, most of the mountains, everything except for, of course, the Mine Train, which of course was still a 90-minute wait no matter when you arrive at the park.
Wow.
And Space Mountain was still pretty long, even when we were leaving around 1:30. But
1:30 is about like a 30-minute wait, even still. So we didn't get a ride it that evening. We rode it several other times throughout our trip.
But everything else, that is almost worth it alone.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially just like extra magic hours, except for you get all the awesome dance parties. And the other thing we haven't mentioned, which is trick-or-treating, of course, my favorite.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the trick-or-treating was awesome. They had maybe a dozen, maybe not, about that, all over the Magic Kingdom. And we thought, well, do we need to be in costume or anything? And we didn't. So they had these big orange blow-up pumpkins that signified, okay, here's a trick-or-treating place. And you would walk through, and in several of them, there was 3 separate areas where you got candy in the one line. So you would find your orange pumpkin, go through, and they would give you, just handfuls of candy. They were not stingy with the candy.
I've been feeding my classroom on candy alone for like 2 weeks. They love it.
Those lucky kids.
That's right. They love it. I've told them all about it. They know I'm a Disney nerd and it's terrible and awesome all at the same time. But it really wasn't. The trick-or-treating alone, you could be an adult. Most of the people by, 12 in the morning were adults trick-or-treating anyway. And we got so much candy. It was comical, frankly, putting the suitcase through security at the airport going home, and it essentially being a suitcase filled with candy.
Well, we always travel with our candy suitcase.
Yeah,
right.
We got the ice cream suitcase, but it always gets messy. So
Right, exactly.
it's the one that usually lasts the whole trip.
Nice. Oh my goodness. So, it sounds like it's a fantastic time. You would recommend going to this?
Yeah.
And yeah,
I mean,
and it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you're already spending like $1,000 on tickets alone, another $150, and of course that's just for 2 people. When you factor in kids, yes, it's more. But I mean, it was one of those things that, especially as an adult, where we don't go trick or treating anymore. Although I'm sure we would if we could.
Yeah. With our Aladdin and Jasmine.
It's totally it's totally kind of socially unacceptable. So this is a way, if you're just an adult or an adult couple going, it's awesome. But especially for kids, I mean, those kids, I would assume most of the families that went that late at night had gone home, I would assume, because the kids were all pretty well behaved by that time of the night. Hopefully they went back to the resort, napped for about 5 hours, and came back, because there seemed to be less crying kids. But, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
Talk about bang for your buck. I mean, that $150 at the end of the night, I feel like we both felt like was just so well spent. There was so much entertainment. And I just now remembered.
Yes,
we
we
haven't
forgot
mentioned.
2 things.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
There was they had a special name for it. The Halloween on the castle. What's that called?
Hollow Wishes.
Hollow Wishes was the name of it.
Oh, yeah, with the fireworks.
Yeah, and that was really cool. They had, although at one point, at the very beginning, they had, a guy with a real deep voice, kind of like the end of Thriller, come on, and he's like, everybody can sing along if they want to. And then they started singing all the classic songs, but in weird ways. They were like, Grim, where'd he go? Come out to socialize. I'm like, we can't sing along if they're
They remixed it.
If we're supposed to sing along.
Right.
Regardless, though, the fireworks and the castle show itself, they did the projection show too, were so cool. And they pulled out some classic songs that a lot of kids I expect don't even know, like Trust in Me, an old song they kind of pulled out. But it was really cool. And then a couple hours later, we went and saw the Villains show. It was the Villains Mix and Mingle live on stage. And that was neat too. It was only about 20 minutes. And I think they did it a couple times throughout the night. But when we went to the very final show. We were 20 feet away from the stage, and we didn't get there till about 2 minutes before it started. But everybody had kind of left by that point. So we were right up in the action. And I mean, of course, it was an amazing show. The dancers were great. But it was really cool. And I've got video of that I'm going to post too, so everybody can kind of take a look at that. But those are the 2 big things that happened at the castle.
Yeah, and one of the cool things was, like, the villain, for example, the villains that were showcased in the Mix and Mingle Castle performance show were, like, Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog, and then they had Princess Tiana meeting until, like, 2 in the morning over at her. I didn't realize, and I wonder if you guys have realized this, she meets at that little gazebo that I've literally never seen until this trip. That's kind of between, like,
Adventureland and
Main Street,
Main
really.
Street, yeah.
It's like a hidden little cove that really does look possessed. I had no idea. Well, she was meeting till pretty late, or pretty early in the morning, I guess we should say. But it was, oh my gosh, the night was amazing. And it was one of those things that, like we said earlier, we weren't sure about how we were spending our money. They were like, I don't know, but it was so, like, I will do it again every time we go in the fall. It was so worth it.
This was the first hard ticketed event we've ever been to, because we've been during Christmas a couple times, but we've never done the Christmas party.
Right.
And so now that we've done the one, I think we'll definitely do more.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's a lot of money, but it's definitely worth the money.
Yeah, but you can also, I mean, it is an extra ticket, but if you budget yourself and say, okay, we gotta make sure we're going to go to the Magic Kingdom for this particular party, you can just buy the tickets for that day. So you don't even have to have park hoppers or a ticket to another park that particular day.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's doable. You guys kind of did it last minute, so but it's. Because we did the same thing. We did it with Christmas, and we just made sure we set aside one day. Instead of getting 5 days worth of tickets, we got 4 days worth of tickets, and then the 5th day was just for the party. So
That's a smart way to do it, especially time-wise, because our struggle, I mean, for those that have gone for a long period of time, even going for 10 days, we had bought 10 days worth of tickets. We were like, well, you know, it ends up being almost like $5 more per person a day by the time you're at 10 days.
Right.
Well, we ended up doing it, and then we felt the pressure to, well, we should spend the entire day in the park since we're here. But then we were struggling to fit in time for Downtown Disney, which I almost called Downton Disney because of Downton Abbey. And,
it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to say Downtown Disney.
And like, you know, swimming at the resort or just resort hopping in general, which we love to do. That was hard to factor in just because we were in the mindset of, well, we've paid. We should go to every single park, you know, every single day. So that was kind of a silly struggle of ours, but it was a struggle, you know. Yeah. So that's a smart way to do it, one day less so you make time for it.
Yeah, but you guys are young, so you can do that kind of thing. So.
I guess.
You can go.
Exactly, yeah. I got to ask you now, at Christmas time, all of the parks are decorated. Are all the parks decorated in a Halloween theme when you're down there during this time of year?
Not really. I mean, there was a limited amount of decoration, but on Main Street USA, they had decorated, like I said, real well. But other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of decoration at a whole lot of parks, which was
I don't think there was any at the other three. I really don't.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, it's a good question because I don't remember any. Do you? It's not like Christmas, like you said, where even the resorts are decorated for Christmas.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot, no. Which is a shame because we both love autumn and Halloween, you know,
so much.
Yeah,
it's my favorite holiday, but. But no, it's not everywhere. There's no special shows anywhere else, no.
Okay.
Now, at the party, was there any special food or taste treats that you had that they might not have other times of the year?
This is what they listed. You're going to laugh at me because I saved a little pamphlet. If you can hear it crinkling, that's what it is. We didn't try any of the specialty food, and there were only a few. So, for example, at the Sleepy Hollow, kind of right to the left of the castle, they had a spiced pumpkin waffle sundae. And then at Main Street Bakery, it just says they had specialty stuff, which we were at Main Street Bakery a few times. They had just, you know, kind of like orange and yellow type foods, you know, like a cupcake with orange and yellow sprinkles, you know. At Gaston's Tavern, they had ghost cupcakes. At many other outdoor carts, it says they had candy corn cotton candy. I don't know what that means. That sounds terrible. And then at Storybook Treats, the last one, they had candy corn, soft serve, ice cream. That also sounds terrible.
Yeah.
My daughter would love that. She loves candy corn and ice cream.
Really?
So yeah, that'd be a hit with her, I'm sure.
There you go. It's there, so she can have some.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Did you guys partake at all in the EPCOT Food Wine?
Oh,
yes, we did. We did the Disney dining plan this time, and we did just the normal one, which we had never done before. We had done the quick service before, but we had never done the just normal Disney dining plan. So we had, you know, all these snacks and that kind of stuff. And we tried maybe half a dozen different kiosks. I think my favorite thing we tried was the kimchi dog that was in, was it South Korea?
It was North Korea.
North Korea.
Wait, or was it? No, it was South Korea. It could not have been North Korea.
I don't think
I am envisioning something just not right.
Could not be North Korea.
I wrote down North Korea, but I believe it was South Korea.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Well, and you know, we've been looking for Kim Jong-un. He's actually serving at the EPCOT Food and Wine Festival.
Oh.
That explains the limp. He's, you know, blew out a knee, all that walking.
Yeah, he's been spotted.
And I think my favorite from all of that, they had these pierogies in the Poland little kiosk that they have, and it was amazing. Also, side note, not totally off topic, we went to, this was new to us, and we're total nerds just like you guys are, the Wonders of Life Pavilion. No, well, we're all four nerds, right? Can we all agree on that?
Absolutely, yeah. She's got us. We're
Tyler, the girl's always right.
Exactly. We'll talk to you later.
Always.
All big nerds.
I'll text you.
There you go. He learns quickly. That'll help.
Right. So at the old Wonders of Life Pavilion, which we are, like you said, we're young. We're too young to have remembered what it was like. But of course, we naturally looked up videos and pictures of what it was like.
They were black and white.
So of course, no. But at the
they had
old
to put
Wonders
captions after every 10 seconds.
It's in a different language. So at the Old Wonders of Life Pavilion, that's where they have like the headquarters for this Food and Wine Festival. And we took a lot of video footage, which we'll have on our YouTube. But it was so funny because the Wonders of Life Pavilion is so like an old mall, like an 1983 built mall.
Wow.
And it has not changed
At all.
Essentially at all.
At all. They just sell wine and food everywhere. I mean, just tons of wine and food in there. And there's a Ghirardelli little store where they have
free chocolate.
like these free chocolate, of course, when you walk in. And we walked in with our Groucho Marx noses the second time to get more chocolate. But when we went in, they have like in these glass little cases, these like
chocolate sculptures,
yeah,
kind of.
And
they were
Disney
amazing. And again, I got video of that. That'll go up too. But these are, not that I'm plugging anything. But these sculptures are incredible. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever watched like Cake Boss or any kind of TV show like that, but these big, they're probably 3 foot tall, ornate sculptures of all made completely out of chocolate, and they're amazing.
And they were like, they were of like the mine train, and what else was there?
There was the Maleficent Dragon. There was a Toy Story one. There was one of just kind of a nature scene. I think that one was my favorite,
yeah,
just
cool.
a nature scene, but it was so detailed. It said they were all made by Disney chefs, so it wasn't like outside people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've watched. It was kind of like a Cake Boss, but it was Disney desserts, where they were actually designing and showing how they designed some of those desserts. It's truly an art form.
Oh yeah.
They're just doing it in food. It's crazy.
Wow.
So you enjoyed the food and wine?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was amazing.
And a little trick of the trade, another little tip. We ended up buying wine from the that pavilion we mentioned, the Wonders of Life Pavilion, because you could get a bottle of exactly what they sell in the different kiosks for, $16 or $25, somewhere in there. Instead of getting, for $4 or $5 a glass, you could just buy the bottle of wine.
Okay.
And then, of course you can't drink it right then and there, but if you're just wanting to try it, it's kind of I don't know, for us it just made more sense fiscally to just buy the bottle. But it was awesome. Oh my gosh, it was awesome.
Yeah. We brought back some wine this time. We got at Downtown Disney, that Princess collection that they have.
The Once Upon a Vine, I saw that.
Yeah, Once Upon a Vine,
You
right?
posted it.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah.
We're not stalking you.
What's that?
I said we're not stalking you.
No, not at all. No. But speaking of stalking, I do have to ask Tyler. I don't know if you told Jessica, but Tyler and I were talking while you guys were down there. Did you guys partake of the Mickey ice cream pants? Did you make it over there?
We did not.
Oh, come on!
Bring that up.
Hang up on him, Tim.
We're out. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
And like I said, that was like one of the very last days that we were there, and so we didn't really have time to go over because we had kind of planned out that very last day. We left at, 4:00 in the afternoon, whatever, and so we didn't have time to get over there. But I was very sad. But then I said, well, that's just another excuse to go back. So we'll just have to.
That's the only excuse we have.
There you go.
Where did you say that Mickey pants was sold again?
I know for sure it's sold at Beaches and Cream, and I want to say it's also sold on Main Street.
At the Plaza.
That's where I saw it, and I can't remember. It's on the corner.
Yeah. Not
Casey's corner, but the other corner, because we saw it there, and we were like, "Whoa!" But we didn't end up buying it.
I think it's
at the Plaza.
Even for two people, I think that's it's so much. I don't even know what we would do with it all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of ice cream in a small. I think technically the name of it is the mini kitchen sink. But it's in Mickey's pants. I'm just saying. It's a sink that looks like Mickey's pants, so I call it the Mickey Pants ice cream.
Well, 2 years ago we were there and we got the what do they call it? I don't know, the garbage pail or the beach pail, whatever, at
one of the
Typhoon
water parks.
Lagoon, I think.
Oh
and
yeah.
We got that, and we could finish maybe half of it.
And the bees got the rest of the other half of it.
Ooh.
So stupid bees.
Oh my goodness. Okay, now you guys you guys are young, and you guys are, it's just the two of you. How is that in touring the parks? You guys can pretty much go where you want to go now, right? I mean, you're not having to worry about taking kids with you.
There's no strollers involved.
No strollers.
Oh, no
It's
strollers.
funny. Every time we walk past the strollers, right there behind the castle by the carousel, we were going, this is no place for kids.
Nope.
They're dead weight.
Yeah,
Dead weight.
that's right. We in the EPCOT Food and Wine Festival, they have the Chase Lounge if you're a Disney credit card holder, and you get free drinks and coffee and that kind of stuff. And we went up there at one point, and we sat, and there was one table that only had a couple ladies sitting at it, so we said, "Can we sit at it?" And it was funny. A couple older ladies. They were so sweet, and they brought up at one point. They were like, "Well, we've decided Disney is no place for kids. It's just for adults, and the kids just get in the way." And we were like, that's
Exactly what we think.
couldn't agree more.
I hope everyone knows we're joking.
Nice disclaimer. Nice disclaimer. Wink, wink. Nod, nod.
I'm used to it.
I do have to ask, because Tim and I get these looks, and we have kids.
Right.
And we've been going to Disney forever. You guys are going to Disney all the time. Do you get like weird looks from your friends? Where you guys going on vacation and you say, we're going to Disney again?
Constantly.
And people don't believe me at work. Like I said, I'm a teacher. Even my teacher friends, who are all ladies and they're all goofy and silly, they don't believe me. I say, yeah, I went to Disney World. They're like, for 10 days? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why? I'm like, because it's awesome. Like, what do you mean why? Let me tell you why. And then I make them listen to me for 3 hours.
Well, and one of you guys early on, I don't know, one of the early 20s or something episodes, you said something about you cannot explain it to other people unless they've been.
Right.
Unless you're a Disney person, you cannot explain it to people that are not Disney people. You just have to go.
Right. Right. And it's that whole experience that you get when you're there. It's a feeling like you can't get just going to the beach or going to the mountains or going to just a hotel someplace. It's a whole feeling you get when you're there.
It's pure escapism.
And it's one of those things that, like, you almost can't go anywhere else. Like, we've gone on recent trips to, like, Miami or New Orleans, different places where we feel like we go there and it's fun, as it is, but we think in the back of our minds, like, but it's not Disney. It's not as fun as Disney ruins everything.
Yes.
Right.
Everything.
Well, and Tim, we've never been on a cruise, but listening to all your cruise stuff, we've talked about, well,
Both of you.
Well, yeah, Bob too. Now we decided that we're going to go on like a carnival or something before, because we know once we go Disney, we won't go back.
Exactly.
So, we got to do the other ones before.
Right.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun as well. I mean, there's especially, pick a good itinerary. We did the show on the Mediterranean cruise. That would be something I would love for. I'd love for my kids to go. Don't get me wrong, but something for just my wife and I to go on, where we wouldn't have to worry about making sure the kids were entertained and doing things they want to do, just things that we would want to do. I think that would just be spectacular.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
And look at Royal Caribbean. I'm kind of a fan of them also. They're really good. So check them out too.
That's good to know.
Yeah, Carnival. Well, we're not going to talk about
No.
They got number 2 problem.
They were in the news recently. I can't remember.
It's usually not good stuff. It's usually not good.
I have 2 words for you: Costa Concordia. That's them.
Oh wow! You had to do it, didn't you?
It's one of their ships. I'm
I know,
sorry, but it's one of their ships.
That's true.
He's just being real.
I got you. So I have to ask, where'd you guys stay for your trip?
Oh.
That's another thing. We stayed at the All-Star, which we've
All-Star Music in particular.
And that's where we've stayed the last several times we've gone. And we've decided that this is probably going to be the last time that we stay there. Not that it's not amazing, because we're 2 young people. We've always been on a budget. But we both now have steady jobs, and we've decided that from now on, we might forego the dining plan, or, we might drive down instead of fly down, and we're going to try and work out something on the Resort Loop. And I don't know if you guys have heard of that. The Mono Loop of Resorts, I think is what it's called.
It rings a bell.
Something like that. And so that's what we've decided, because several times, we like to go back to the resort halfway through the day, and it's 20 minutes on the bus pretty much no matter what. And so we've decided we're going to probably drive down. So we have, a car to get back and forth, which I know you guys do quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And stay on the resort loop because everything is so, right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't be afraid to go Wilderness Lodge either. It's just a very short boat trip. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, the Wilderness Lodge is fantastic. That's one of my favorites. So, so you guys, you want to stay on the resort loop? You obviously have taken a look, the most recent look anyway, at the Polynesian. What's it looking like?
Terrible.
Nothing like its former self.
Yeah, nothing like it.
Are any of the walls down?
No,
not
yet. Because we walked in, and you can't even recognize it. And Tim, I think I'm going to talk directly to you because I don't think Bob's going to be involved in this conversation. But
gotcha.
We did go to this restaurant called Ohana. Oh, is that what it was?
Ohana. Yeah.
That's a myth. That's a myth that doesn't exist.
Bob thinks it's an airport. He thinks it's an airport in Chicago.
I think it means family.
It was an Irish restaurant called Ohana.
No wonder. I keep looking in the wrong place.
And what'd you think?
It was excellent. And we actually completely happenstance. We got there and they sat us down, and not 5 minutes later, the castle show started happening, and we were right there by the window.
Magic.
Had no idea, didn't ask for that section, didn't, nothing. And it was incredible. And they pipe in the music from the parks while that's going on. And it was kind of cool because actually being there, listening to it, the music synced up exactly to the fireworks. Because, if you're watching the fireworks and the actual firework itself matches to the music, but the boom is kind of like a 3-second delay.
Right.
But actually watching without hearing the booms, because you're on the other side of the lake, everything matched up perfectly. And it was so neat to watch. And again, we had no idea. But it was one of those just magical things.
Oh, you got pixie dusted.
Exactly.
Nice.
We also got laid while we were there, so there's that.
Oh, my. Well.
Yeah.
Appropriate? I don't know.
You said you posed at it, right?
That's, You mean, of course, the flower lay.
The flower lays, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right there in the restaurant?
They do that.
Right there in the restaurant.
Right there in front of everyone.
Right.
All right. Well,
that's nice.
Apparently it was late since the fireworks are going on, so I've not been there that late. So
now, both of you or just one of you?
Both at the same time.
Okay. All right. Just checking. I think it's a myth. This whole Ohana thing it didn't happen. You guys are just making stuff up now.
Well,
of course we
Tim
are.
texted me earlier. We had a whole thing.
Wow.
We did. Yeah.
Are you doing a show with somebody else, Tim? Is that what's going on here?
It's the Express Loop.
Cheating on you, Bob.
The Express Loop. It's the EPCOT Loop. Oh, no. I should have Googled. Oh, my goodness.
Well, Jello and Ricky Brigante, the three of them.
There you go. Oh, my goodness. Before this takes too much of a bad turn, favorite costume. What was the favorite costume you guys saw?
Oh, you know what mine was? From Wreck-It Ralph. I can't think of the girl's name. The one from the candy game. What is her name? Does anyone know it?
The little girl with
the
candy.
The little girl with the candy. This is terrible. Sarah Silverman did her voice.
Oh,
I bet your
Vanellope
listeners are going,
Von Sweet.
oh, I know it. What is it?
Von Sweet, Vanellope? Is that right?
Vanellope! That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. You can edit that if you want. Okay. So my favorite costume was Vanellope from Wreck-It Ralph, because there were quite a few, and they were all adults that dressed as her, but it's one of those things that anyone could do. It was really easy, but they found a way to get like candy stuck in their hair. It was so cool.
Yeah, and all the Vanellopes had a Wreck-It Ralph with them. I think we saw 3 couples with Vanellope and Wreck-It Ralph, and that was cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
We saw several Belle outfits, but there was one. I remember we were standing in line for the teacups. It could have been issued by the Disney parks. It was incredible. I mean, the dress must have cost hundreds of dollars, thousands. I don't know how much dresses cost.
No.
Wow.
But
that's good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like the movie. It was incredible. It was, you could tell it was really, really well made.
Yeah.
But there was some other, I mean, like Ferris Bueller was there.
That was a good one.
Some people that, weren't Disney costumed, but still in costume.
If you guys go back, what are you going to dress as?
we've got a list of different ones that we were talking about.
Yeah, you might have to pull it up. You might have to edit this because there were some good ones, but I can't remember. What are they?
Let's see. We got Ferris Bueller and Sloane, Mickey and Minnie, Jack Skellington and Sally.
Yeah.
Belle and Gaston. I wasn't ugly enough to be the Beast. Mary Poppins and Bert. We talked about Phantom of the Opera. That'd be, by the mask.
Also, hold on. You guys are going to love what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
My personal favorite for Tyler in particular would be, okay, so at Hollywood Studios, there's that Sid Cahuenga. I don't know how to say the name. The memorabilia shop right before you start the main strip.
Yep.
So of course it's been switched to a photo pass, but if you go in, there's still some memorabilia hanging on the walls. I just don't think it's for sale. Tyler decided that Sid Cahuenga had to have been a guy. He of course has characterized him in his head. That is wearing a Hawaiian shirt, got a big old belly, just welcome to my home. I got all this memorabilia from old school Hollywood.
Well, if you watch the travel videos, there's a couple documentaries on YouTube about, when Hollywood Studios first opened. And there's a guy there talking about the streetmosphere. And he's, an older guy, bigger guy. And I think the story was that his home was on the strip and he never sold it. So then when a bunch of movie stars moved in, he just decided to start selling memorabilia. But the guy who they had hired to do the character was hilarious to me. He kept going, "Hi, I'm Sid Cahuenga. How you doing? This is my home. I sell lots of fun things." And it's, turned into an inside joke that now everybody's going to hear.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
You should do that.
Oh,
Everybody would ask you, who are you? And there's the story. That's awesome.
Sid Cahuenga, how you doing?
nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, Tim.
Yes.
That out.
I think that's all I've got for these two. And Benita. Hi, Benita. You still there?
She's still there?
I'm here. I am.
All right. The steaks are burning.
Now it's going to be pizza.
We got jerky now. And I do have to say one thing. I don't know if you guys have heard, at all the Disney parks, they have a special coffee. It's called Joffrey's Coffee. And we're sitting here drinking our Joffrey's coffee here as we record this. We're doing the Victoria and Albert's right now.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Nice.
but I believe it is the official coffee of the ResortLoop.com podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I've heard.
That's
You are
what I've
correct.
heard as well. Yeah, very good. I am actually having some more of the chamomile lemon tea. So
Oh.
just to let you know, that was... that's why these, the voice is so velvety smooth.
Oh.
You did sound excellent this episode.
Very nice. Oh my gosh. Jessica, Tyler, where can people find you online?
Oh boy. Okay. So you can find me on YouTube. My username is Jam, Jam Beauty 89, and the same username on Twitter and Instagram. Tyler.
And then up until yesterday, and I still have it, my Twitter handle was DisneyMan92. And I'm still going to use that. But last night I created a new one. And like I said, it's called Tyler Travels TV. Tyler Travels was already taken, so I had to add the TV. And so that's going to be my new one. And I'm going to start posting a lot of pictures and a lot of videos of, Disney trips and all our other trips that we take on YouTube.
Outstanding.
Very nice.
Where can we find you guys?
Well, Jessica, since you ask, you can find me on Twitter. I'm ResortLoop Tim. We have a website, newly redesigned, ResortLoop.com.
And I'm Resort Loop Bob on the Twitter and Instagram because Tim won't go there. And don't forget Facebook.com/Resort Loop. And where else can they listen?
For now, you can listen to us on the Stitcher.
The Stitcher.
The Stitcher. Everybody, this has been the Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody.
And that's how we end the show.
I wanted to go da 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 da.
Hey.
That'll be in.
I said Florida twice.